Okay, I have discovered Repo the Genetic Opera, and I'm in love with that movie. That soundtrack, forget it. I swear, when I found out it was Paris Hilton, I was like, Paris Hilton was Amber Sweet? And Amber Sweet was like my favorite character, and I'm like, before I saw the movie, I heard the soundtrack, I'm like, Amber is Paris Hilton. So like my respect for Paris Hilton was like tenfold. Like Paris playing a drug-controlled plastic surgeon diva heiress was just like, oh, it's so perfect and yet so at the same time. What else happened to me? My ear is healing. I got my ear pierced, and see, it's healing up good, and it's feeling much better. Before it was kind of like, yeah, but I take good care of it. I'm kind of losing respect for adult fiction right now. Two books I've read, both fantasy adult fiction, with two of the most driest plots I've ever read in a long time. One of them is a New York Times bestseller, which means nothing anymore, I suppose. And basically, in the first 34 minutes, the relationship has already reached like mid-level. Like in the first 34 minutes, he's like, she's different from any other woman I've ever seen. It's 34 pages in, he's like, she's different from any woman I've ever seen. I don't want to hurt her. So in 34 pages, he goes from being, you know, this rapist, lustful, crazy murderer into being, oh, she showed me trust for the first time. I don't want to hurt her. So of course I called bullshit on that really quickly, and that kind of ruined the rest of the book for me. And as it kept going, it kept getting worse and worse. You mean, you have a guy who spent like the last millennia killing and raping and squandering and doing stuff, and he meets one girl for like 3 days, and all of a sudden he's a good guy. It boggles my mind. I'm just like, why? Why are you doing this? And like ever since I started making my whole Melina on writing vlog, I can't read books anymore. I'm getting so irritated with everything. It's so sad. I was reading this series, the Riley Jensen series by Carrie Author, and that book is pissing me off. I've read the entire series so far. I'm getting the new one tomorrow when I go to Borders with my friend Zaire. Hi, Zaire. And it's like, she's a damn fire. She's half werewolf, half vampire, and werewolves have to have sex all the time. But she's dating this vampire named Quinn, who is trying to like settle down and have a relationship with her. He wants to be with her. She's like, I'm half werewolf. I have to find my soulmate like all the other werewolves. And I'm just like, you're half vampire. Maybe you can't have a werewolf soulmate. You ever think about that, stupid? I'm like, so you want him to give you everything, but you can only give him whatever punani is done when you're done with everybody else. That on top of the fact that she constantly tells her brother that he should be in a monogamous relationship with his boyfriend drives me up the wall. I'm like, you're telling them the exact same thing that you need to be doing. And yet every time she hurts him by continuing to sleep with him, even though she doesn't want to be with him in that kind of way, he's always the bad guy because he's like protective and doesn't understand the werewolf way. It's like, you're half vampire. Figure it out. It just, they keep making these things where like the man has to either be perfect, or if he's not perfect, then he's not good enough, and if he complains, he's a jerk. You know, it's like there's no more compromise in these relationships anymore. It's just the girl is always right, the guy is always wrong. If you think otherwise, you're dead. And that's how Disney Needle Blake series too. I feel so bad for Richard, who's like the greatest guy in the world, but gets shafted for friggin' Micah, who is super penis but rapes a girl in the shower. Makes me sick. Screw the rules, I have a wand.